Major details regarding Andrade's shock departure from WWE, with a new report suggesting that he was fired by WWE for disciplinary issues. Furthermore, he had one wellness policy violation this year and was suspended without pay prior to his WWE departure. All of the details and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling, and we have to begin with Andrade and more details surrounding his shock departure from WWE that took a lot of people by surprise when it was reported yesterday. New reports are suggesting the former NXT champion has been fired by WWE due to a disciplinary issue, with another report suggesting that a wellness policy violation did play into this. Now, yesterday, news emerged that Andrade had departed WWE. PW Insider soon noted that the departure was a release and was WWE's decision, but there were no further details on the reason why. Today, Dave Meltzer reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that Andrade was fired due to a disciplinary issue. Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp noted he had heard similar. Meltzer reported, quote, "I don't know the whole story, but I do know it was a discipline thing." It was a disciplinary thing. It actually is a story from a couple of weeks ago that just broke today. He was not fired until today, but a couple of weeks ago, there was a disciplinary thing, and all I know is it was at a TV shoot, and he was told to go home, and he's not been used since. I was told it was not drug-related, it was not alcohol-related, it was not marriage-related, but nobody would tell me what it was, but it was enough to be sent home. The feeling when he was sent home was that it must be serious because you don't hear about that happening often. He hasn't been used since, and I was told that when he was sent home, the people who know, were not told that he was done, but they assumed that he was done. And then today was the confirmation that he was done. I don't know what it is. I don't want to speculate or anything like that. I know of things, but I don't think this had to do with that. I know they wanted him in the AAA project. He didn't do it, so there's that. But I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. I'm sure all of this will be denied in the next week or two, but that part, being sent home and disciplinary and all that, that's all accurate. And being fired, he may say, I was mad, I quit, I wasn't fired. That's what happened. Now, major details have come out regarding this wellness policy violation that's being reported by John Alba of the takedown on SI. So they're reporting that the takedown on SI would soon learn that Andrade's departure was not mutual and that the company released him from his contract. It is not clear as to whether or not he ever requested his release, but the decision to cut him was the company's decision and not related to budget moves. As I mentioned, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer would reveal that the release was disciplinary, which the takedown on SI say they can confirm also. They can also add more context as to what sort of discipline Andrade was facing. Multiple sources indicate to the takedown on SI that Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his most recent WWE run. It is not known how exactly he was in violation of the policy or whether or not he in fact tested positive for a banned substance. WWE can suspend talent for failing to produce a test. It is also not clear if it directly led to his release, but it was noted that he was suspended without pay as a result of it. Initial reports noted that he had not been backstage SmackDown as of late and was not listed on internal rosters. The takedown on SI can add that he was told to leave a taping last month and was escorted out of the building. A high-level source asserted this dismissal from the building was in relation to his most recent suspension and that it affected major creative plans for his tag team with Rey Fenix. Now, Body Slam's Corey Hayes reported on Saturday night that WWE had tried to get in touch with Andrade for several weeks, but had been unsuccessful. The takedown on SI cannot confirm this at this time, though the incident at SmackDown was said to have occurred in the middle of August. Now, when a previous wellness policy violation has come up is also related to his first run in WWE as well. Now, while sources, according to SI, indicated there was at least one wellness violation policy this year, this would not be his first with the company. WWE announced in January of 2020 that he was suspended for his first violation of the policy, which resulted in a 30-day suspension. He would leave WWE the following year, jumping ship to AEW, where he would perform until December of 2023. There, though, he also faced disciplinary action action following a backstage incident with Sammy Guevara. He returned to WWE at the 2024 Royal Rumble in the Men's Rumble match, and he last performed at SummerSlam in the six-pack TLC match for the WWE Tag Team titles. It should also be noted that WWE has not published any potential wellness policy violations publicly since the TKO merger in 2020. Actually, they haven't done it for many years, really going back to the pandemic. As a result, it's unknown how many there have been, if there have been any outside of this at all. Now, WWE have not commented on the nature of the release in any formal capacity as of the time of recording this video. Of course, if we get any more details, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. But what do you make of the latest development when it comes to Andrade and his WWE departure? Now, let's talk about Eddie Kingston's return at AEW All Out. Well, the date is officially set. After Big Bill called out Eddie Kingston, Kingston responded on social media and told Bill that the contract is signed on his end and he's waiting for Bill to send the location. Bill answered Max Caster's 5-minute challenge on the September 13th AEW Collision and picked up the victory. He proceeded to grab a microphone and stated that he'll see Kingston at AEW's All Out pay-per-view on September 20th. Of course, as I mentioned, Kingston has been out of action since May of 2024 when he suffered tears to his ACL and meniscus during a match against Gabe Kidd at New Japan's Resurgence event. Kingston, now on his way back to AEW, he'll be making his in-ring return at AEW All Out. Speaking of All Out, the match between Mark Briscoe and MJF has got a very hardcore stipulation. Mark Briscoe has unveiled his stipulation for All Out, kicking off the September 13th edition of AEW Collision from the 2300 Arena was former AEW World Champion MJF. He came out to find out what the stipulation was for his bout against Mark Briscoe at AEW's All Out pay-per-view. A video message from Briscoe aired, and he called out MJF for a no disqualification tables and thumbtacks match. Briscoe then directed MJF to turn around, and there Briscoe was to ambush his future opponent. Briscoe then pulled out a bag of thumbtacks and was about to drop MJF onto the tacks, but the current CMLL World Light Heavyweight Champion escaped for another day. So Briscoe's match against MJF not only is official for All Out, but now it has the stipulation. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, MJF, he was a busy person. He is a very busy person at the moment. He's got a heck of a schedule that includes AEW, that includes filming a film, Violent Night 2, in Winnipeg, but also an appearance in MLW. Yes, this is certainly an interesting one that maybe people didn't see coming. MJF made an appearance at MLW Fightland, speaking with Alex Hammerstone backstage. MJF said that 6 years ago, the Dynasty was on top of pro wrestling. Now, 6 years later, he's still on top, but Hammerstone has become a court jester. MJF said that Hammerstone is the best big man in pro wrestling, but he walks around like he's not that guy. Maxwell Jacob Friedman said he saw the hatred in Hammerstone's eyes and that the Hammerstone that wrestling needs. Hammerstone said he sees the talk of people wanting the Dynasty back together, but the Dynasty is over. He said he struggled while MJF has climbed, quote, "What if my best days are behind me?" He said he hates that feeling and now maybe it's time that he fully hates pro wrestling. Hammerstone concluded that MJF is right and that maybe his best days are in front of him. The former Dynasty members toasted to end the segment. Now, the Salt of the Earth, of course, made another surprise appearance at MLW Summer of the Beast, attacking Mystico. MJF, Hammerstone, and Richard Holiday formed the Dynasty in MLW in 2018. Of course, we get any more details on possible more crossover between AEW and MLW, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, a reminder, as always, this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our affiliates. You can find out all the details in the comment section below. They'll also be pinned in the comment section in the video description as well. And you'll see throughout this video on the sidebar all of our affiliates. You can see them. You can get yourself some great products. You can save yourself some money and you can support the channel in the process. Your support really is much appreciated. Going back to AEW Collision last night, there was the first win for Daniel Garcia as part of the Death Riders. It was on the September 10th AEW Dynamite that Daniel Garcia ambushed Darby Allin and revealed that he's the newest member of the Death Riders. The September 13th installment of Collision saw Garcia team with Jon Moxley to take on Paragon's Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Garcia switched up his ring gear. He sported black shorts, black knee pads, and wrestling shoes. The match concluded with Garcia tapping out O'Reilly with a Dragon Tamer. Post-match, Daddy Magic Matt Menard jumped up from the commentary desk as he was frustrated with Garcia about not telling him about his decision to join the Death Riders. He began to shout in Garcia's face, but Marina Shafir gave Menard the middle finger, and the Death Riders walked off together. So Garcia seemingly ditching Menard for the Death Riders permanently. Kazuchika Okada, he'll be defending his AEW Unified title at All Out. Okada remains champion and is now moving on to the upcoming AEW pay-per-view. One of the bouts on the bill for the September 13th AEW Collision was Kazuchika Okada putting his AEW Unified Championship on the line against Michael Oku. The bout was also a tournament match to determine who moves on to the three-way AEW Unified title match at All Out on September 20th. Okada bested Oku to retain his bout and move on to the three-way. Post-match, Okada's fellow Don Callis family member Konosuke Takeshita came out, and he had a bit of a stare down with the current champion, once again teasing issues in the Don Callis family. The reason he had this stare down is because he's also advancing to AEW All Out. Takeshita is on the hunt for the gold. The first match of the night on the September 13th edition of AEW Collision was Konosuke Takeshita versus Anthony Bowens to determine who would secure a spot in the AEW Unified Championship three-way at the All Out pay-per-view. It was a back-and-forth contest, but Takeshita emerged victorious after putting Bowens down with his Raging Fire finisher. Now, as I mentioned, other tournament matches are still upcoming, one being that Okada match where he has advanced and was confronted by Takeshita, and another tournament match is set to take place on AEW Dynamite September to Remember. On September 17th, it will be the Beast Mortos versus Mascara Dorada. In addition to that, Takeshita is going to be very busy over the next coming months, as Takeshita will be challenging Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at New Japan's King of Pro Wrestling event. That is, of course, coming after he won the New Japan G1 Climax tournament. Now, could the Acclaimed be set to reunite in All Elite Wrestling? Starting the in-ring action, as I mentioned last night on Collision, was Anthony Bowens versus Konosuke Takeshita to determine who would advance to the AEW Unified Championship three-way bout at the All Out pay-per-view. Takeshita bested Bowens in the match. Later in the show, Max Caster hosted his 5-minute open challenge, and answering the call was Big Bill. Caster lost that bout. Backstage, Bowens was shown talking to AEW producer and coach Jerry Lynn. He suggested that someone is missing for Bowens, and that's why he cannot put the puzzle pieces together. Caster came from behind the curtain and accidentally bumped Bowens. The former AEW World Tag Team Champions then started brawling, and their fight went to the ring. Lynn took to the ring to split them apart. He stated that Caster has not won a singles match and Bowens has been struggling in the mid-card. He suggested that they'd be stronger together. Neither Bowens nor Caster was on board with that. Caster and Bowens split, of course, in January of this year. As Lynn was speaking to them, Swirl, that being Lee Johnson and Blake Christian, came out, and Blake was berating all three individuals in the ring. Lynn encouraged them to come into the ring to fight, and they did just that. Bowens had left the ring by that point, and when he saw Christian and Johnson getting the upper hand on Lynn and Caster, he returned to the ring to help them. Bowens and Caster joined forces to clothesline Johnson out of the ring, but when Lynn lifted their hands in unison, which you can see right there, they separated themselves immediately. So the question is, could the Acclaimed be set to reunite, or was this just a one-off thing? Speaking of tag teams, the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line at AEW All Out, and a ladder match for the bouts is official. As the September 13th installment of AEW Collision was ongoing, it was revealed that Brodido, that being Bandito and Brody King, will be defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships at the AEW All Out pay-per-view on September 20th. The duo will be defending their bouts in a four-way ladder match. Brodido has been reigning as the AEW World Tag Team Champions since they captured the belts at AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door pay-per-view in August. Their latest title defense was at CM Ao's September 12th show, and they retained over Defunto and Zedokan Jr. Now, several matches have been confirmed for AEW's special September to Remember, a 3-hour special event for this coming Wednesday on TBS and HBO Max. Now, going into AEW All Out on September 20th, AEW is going to present their TV special September to Remember on September 17th. It will be a 3-hour special on TBS and HBO Max from Canada Life Place in London, Ontario. There are going to be 3 qualifying matches to determine who will join AEW World Tag Team Champions Bro Dido in a 4-way ladder match for the titles at AEW All Out. In addition to that, the final spot in the AEW Unified Title 3-way at All Out will be determined. This is the full lineup for September to Remember. An eliminator match for the AEW Unified title shot at All Out will be the Beast Mortos versus Mascara Dorada. There'll be a qualifying match in the tag title ladder match at All Out. It'll be Top Flight versus Josh Alexander and Hechicero, the Don Callis family. In addition to that, Jet Speed will face Kip Sabian and Killswitch in an attempt to qualify for the tag title match at All Out. There'll also be the Bang Bang Gang facing off against the Young Bucks, and again, to try and qualify for that tag title ladder match at All Out. We've got Tekla facing off against Queen Aminata. They've been feuding for several months on AEW television. Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Syndicate faces the Gates of Agony's Toa Leona. FTR will face off with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Heavy fines will be given if there's physicality. There will be Spotlight for the AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm. Riho is going to face off against Robin Renegade ahead of facing Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship at All Out. And the leader of the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, will face off against Paragon's Roderick Strong. And in addition to that, another match has been confirmed for the Tailgate Brawl ahead of AEW All Out. September 20th is the date for All Elite Wrestling's 2025 All Out pay-per-view in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The pay-per-view is scheduled to start at 3 p.m. Eastern. There is going to be a 1-hour lead-in for the pay-per-view that is going to air on TNT at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's titled AEW Saturday Tailgate Brawl. The bout has been set for the TNT special, and it's going to be an 8-woman tag team tornado match. The match will feature Willow Nightingale, interim Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion Mina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron and Queen Aminata versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford. Of course, if more bouts for the live special are added, we'll let you know in future videos. And finally, Shawn Michaels is set to undergo major surgery, and maybe, just maybe, he could be ready to go in time for WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Shawn Michaels is getting surgery very soon. On the Nightcap podcast, the WWE Hall of Famer mentioned a litany of injuries he's developed over the course of his career and revealed that he'll be getting double knee replacement soon. Quotes, "I've had my back fused, I've had my shoulder replaced, I have 2 knees I'm getting replaced probably in a month, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I knew that going in, as you guys did. I knew the price that was going to come with it." At the same time, Michael said that he doesn't miss the physical aspect of wrestling. What he does now is just as rewarding to him. He said, quotes, the physical aspect I don't miss, the travel I don't miss. I guess I'm able now to still get that same charge when we're sitting there and I'm telling a story to these talents where I'm trying to convey, this is what we're looking for out of this match, and we're going to tell this story, this is going to happen, and at the end, hopefully they come unglued, he said. When that happens and it all comes together, it's that feeling where you watch the joy in that talent's heart when they're finally getting it. It's in a different aspect that I receive kind of that charge that I used to have when I got inside the ring. Now, aside from one tag team match in 2018 that's best not discussed, Michaels has remained retired from professional wrestling since his loss to The Undertaker back at WrestleMania 26 in 2010. He now is currently the Senior Vice President of Talent Development, Creative for WWE, overseeing the NXT brand. But of course, he was there when WrestleMania 43 was announced to be going to Saudi Arabia just a few days ago, with speculation he may be one of the names that the Saudi government are willing to pay a hefty amount of money to come out of retirement and participate at the upcoming showcase of the Immortals in 2027. If we get any more details on that, of course, we'll let you know in a future video as well. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.